And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. I hope your day is well. As I told Odie, I sometimes forget what I'm doing. I went to look at the temperature and forgot why I went to look for. You'll have days like that. Today is Thursday. The weekend is approaching fast. It's going to be a warm one. Don't forget that. We'll tell you about that. And the next chance it's going to rain. We got your forecast right around the corner as we get all of this together. Thursday, we got a special guest coming in. The judge will be here this morning, Nick Lisi. He'll be joining us at 7 o'clock. We've got a lot of questions lined out for him. Hope you'll join us for that. We'll learn a few things. It's around the coming up in just a few moments. Also, a bunch of headlines that happened overnight and things that have happened locally. That begins at 7. Let's go out to Collinsville now, get this day underway. Good morning, Sydney. Good to see you. Mark joins us there. Becky, Elmer. Glad to see y'all. 69 right now as we wait for a high later today of 92. Let's get that good word first.
One thing that we can usually count on in movies is that the bad guy won't win. We love a good hero who saves the day and defeats evil. But likewise, we also find it satisfying when the villain meets their demise. I mean, even in a kid's movie, we still root for good to win. You can't tell me that you weren't cheering the first time you saw Simba defeat Scar at Pride Rock and the Lion King. Well, those movies do tell us something if we'll pay attention. But even better than that, God's Word does so as well. Here's what Proverbs 10:29 says. The way of the Lord is a stronghold for the honorable, but destruction awaits evildoers. For those of us who know the Lord, His ways and His path are where we find our home, our protection, our rest. And praise God that when all around us is going crazy and falling apart, we can find our hope and our peace in the Lord. Yet for those who do not know Jesus and don't follow the Lord, the opposite's true. They follow their own paths, and only destruction awaits. It's hard sometimes because, often we feel like those who don't play by the rules win. But what this word tells us is that won't always be the case. So, what way are you going to follow? Your own or the Lord's? At the end of the day, one path leads to hope and the other leads to destruction. And really, just listen to what Jesus said in Matthew 7. Enter through the narrow gate, for the gate is wide and the road broad that leads to destruction, and there are many who go through it. How narrow is the gate and difficult the road that leads to life, and few find it. Look, don't be tempted to take the wide, perhaps even popular road. Take the road that leads to the Lord through Jesus Christ, His Son, and His resurrection. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Always a good message. Hope you enjoyed that. As we begin the day, we always like to have a smile and face things, but I often wonder, you ever questioned yourself? Are you losing touch with America, what's going on, or, is it everybody else that's got issues? I guess a way to word it is there's some foolishness in the world. I can remember when a time was when it was your wife, everything that was said about her, it should be of the utmost importance to be on the level of putting her higher above. And I may be taking this wrong, but Howie Mandel, do y'all remember him? He was on the game show. And he did an interview not long ago. And just see where I'm going with this. His wife fell in a hotel room. And it hurt her. She bloodied her nose. And he did a press release, and he said that his wife, during the interview, was tipsy. She'd had too much to drink and fell. Well, he comes back a few days later, and this is where I'm going with this. And he goes, wait a minute, I need to set the record straight. My wife didn't like me saying that she was tipsy. The real thing was she was high off gummy bears. That's not something to be proud of, is it? Would it have better to have said you were I don't know. I wonder. I would have went with tipsy if you had to say anything. It's just sometimes I wonder if I'm losing touch with what's right and wrong, and I'll leave it at that. A D.C. bar moves forward to suspend Hunter Biden's law license after the felony conviction. Y'all think that'll happen? We'll see. I didn't even know that he had passed the bar. I mean, like actually driven past one.
That's pretty good.
Oh, have mercy. There are times in life that you have to take a stand and protest things. If it's not right, you get your picket sign, you do what you need, or however you want to protest, but you never get in the way of things, of progress. You can't stop people from doing what they want. A cyclist tried that in New York City, walked out in front of a car, put his bicycle out in front of him, wouldn't let him pass. I guess he was in one of those moments of nature moments. He threw his bike down while they run over it and kept going. Thumbs up. It happens more times than you think. And the people that do crime sometimes are not the smartest people, are they? A guy robs a store, but before he robbed it, he went to another store next to it on video and bought the face mask that he walked across the street and robbed it. The whole thing's on video. Hello. It just really... Oh, well, let's move on to the next story there. Oakland, California, 4 people were shot at a party yesterday evening. I think they're going to be okay, but they were shot. There's constant things going on in California. We see that a boater in Florida Keys has found $1 million worth of cocaine floating while he was out in his boat. Turned it over to authorities. I bet they never tracked down who that was. I don't know as much about basketball, the NBA, as I probably should, but former NBA player Nate Robinson, does anybody know him? He's asking for help. He needs a kidney. He's saying that it's life-threatening if he doesn't get a new kidney. We wish him luck with that. Have you ever heard of a community that has had enough? This is New York, where we go with this, of a 13-year-old girl. And let me just paint the picture. 13-year-old, close-knit community. Even larger cities have communities within it. A 13-year-old girl was raped. The police sent out a sketch of what the suspect looked like. And I guess you could say the neighbors formed what you would call a neighborhood watch program, to where they set up to find this guy. Late at night, he appeared. About 8 of them confronted him. They commenced to whooping and whooping. They took their belts, tied him up, and he said, "Quit, quit, quit." And they told him, Did you quit when she begged for help? They kicked him some more. Tied him up to a car and waited till police arrived. He's in jail now. It's almost as if it's Charles Bronson back on the streets in that little situation. But they had had enough of it. Their neighborhood was plagued with it. It was a 13-year-old girl, and they set up and monitored the streets. And guess what? He wasn't a citizen of the United States at all. Couldn't speak English, but he could yell real loud.
Stop.
He knew what that meant. And it was justice. Here's another example of this, Texas. And this is a family that taught karate, 5 of them. They're in their studios, they hear cries, and they ignore it at first. They think it's somebody in the street just causing, or employees, and it ends up being a building down the street. They hear a woman crying. They go in. A guy was attempting to rape a woman. They took matters into their own hands. Also in this situation, held him down till police come got him. It's story after story this morning of Americans that are fed up with people doing wrong on this. I won't even go into that one, but it's a similar case that happened in Las Vegas. I worry about this as I see this headline. This happened in Ecuador. Do y'all remember a few weeks ago we had phone outages, we've had internet outages, and there's not much said about it. And I do think that this is probably hackers. Ecuador, that were left in the dark yesterday, all electricity cut. It's back up now, but are these hacks that people are testing? Could that be the next type of attack? Wasn't it Bruce Willis? What was it? One of those Die Hard movies to where they done that, where they kill power and communication? Boy, our worlds would be in a mess with that. I don't know how this is going to work out. Austrian. She inherited a bunch of money. I guess she didn't want it. You've heard of that type of, they feel like that they owe the world money. Her family left her a lot. She's given away $27 million. Says she doesn't care what they do with it. Gave it to the government for them to give to different agencies. She may live to regret that.
Yeah.
You might not have a chauffeur very long.
Get off the drugs.
We have 2 people that have lost their lives in New Mexico due to wildfires. Boy, wildfires are awful. We often see them in California. And we all do remember when that happened to the Great Smoky Mountains, when those fires get out of hand. Careful, 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 as Smokey the Bear used to say. Well, we see where 2 people were attacked after a graduation New York City. They haven't caught the people that done it to them. Queen, you were a big Queen fan, weren't you? That was the group that's saying "We Will Rock You,"
Yep.
and they did a movie out of that, if I'm not mistaken. They have sold their catalog of music. These figures keep getting higher and higher that musicians are getting. Take a guess on this one, Odie. I was shocked when I read it. $1.2 billion for their music. Is it that big? I thought the only song they had was "We Would Rock You"
Oh, no.
or "We Are the Champions."
We're the champions.
They got other ones?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Isn't that the same thing, Bohemian? Isn't that the same song? No? Okay.
They got a bunch of stuff.
Odie says they got a bunch of stuff, but
We Will Rock You.
$1.2 billion. Wow. Good morning, Wayne Roberts. Glad to see you there. Jeff Lewis is up today. Lisa also joining us. We got your weather forecast and so much more. 1.2. We should have learned to sing, Odie. Lord knows we can't do any of that. Okay, Bob says Fat Bottom Girls. I remember that song. Bob, you going to sing that for us? They make the world go round. Wasn't that line after? Odie agreeing in the background. That really was a big song, y'all. But I didn't know that's who did that. Huh, I learned something new every day. Just can't hear Willie Nelson singing Fat Bottom Girls. We'll be right back with your forecast as we get your day underway.
The Preserve at Meridian is the premier senior living community in the Meridian area, offering independent living cottages, assisted living, and maintain their independence and pursue an engaging lifestyle with a robust activities calendar, personalized care programs, wellness activities, restaurant-style dining, and much more. Call or visit us online today at preserveatmeridian.com to schedule your personal tour.
Advanced Auto Glass by Joey can handle all your windshield repair and replacement needs. Service work is guaranteed and covered by warranty. Our technicians are professional, auto glass trained, and have over 100 years of combined experience. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey utilizes in-house calibrations for vehicle safety systems. Most insurances are accepted, and reliable mobile service is available in surrounding areas. Keep cars cool and secure with custom tinting, side mirror replacement, and AquaPel windshield wipers. There's one clear choice in auto glass repair. Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we get our forecast underway, let's take a look at our record highs and our record lows as we go back to 1953. It was a hot day today, 101. Back in 65, there's a few people that remember that. 54 today. Nice, cool day. Too bad we don't have some more of those. As we look at that forecast for today, we're looking at 92 for the high across East Mississippi for the most part, from Newton to Meridian. As we go northward, cooler as you get to Philadelphia and around Mississippi State. By the time you get to Columbus Air Force Base, we're back to 93. And down the river, let's go to Greenwood, the Delta. 94 today, but we'll still be at 91 down in Natchez if you're floating down the river. As we go east into Bama, here's what we have. Tuscaloosa, 93. Birmingham even staying steady at 93. Over in Auburn, we'll see 91 with those War Eagles. And down to the south there toward Troy and Dothan, somewhere around 90. Not too bad in Bama. It's kind of a ditto of the Meridian area. As we look at this heat stress that we're looking coming up this weekend. Is going to be bad on Sunday, as you'll see that all of the Meridian area in Neshoba County, for the most part, has it. All of Newton and everywhere south is involved in this. It's major there, as we'll see a limited 105 heat index. Look as we look at Monday and Tuesday, and just to the west of us, Scott County, portions of Jasper County, this is going to be even worse. This will be above, up to 105 to 110 is what we'll be looking at, the heat index Monday and Tuesday. So we got some hot weather before long. I'm not going to lie, it'll be kind of warm today too, but not this hot. Be ready for that. Here's the outlook. As we'll see that we're red now, but off to our west, we've got a hotter version coming there. It's going to warm up, and this should be there by the weekend. As we look at our forecast for today, 92 of the low tonight will be somewhere around 69, and that's warm at night. That's around 70 degrees. It's perfect weather during the day if you could hold it at 69 to 70. By tomorrow, we're up to 95. Saturday, we're at 98, Saturday and Sunday, holding steady here. But don't be shocked if these temperatures go up a little bit, anywhere from 98 to 100. It's been back and forth over the last few days. We do start seeing hints there. Late Sunday afternoon, slight chance. By Monday, we start seeing the real chances there at a 30% chance, 50% on Tuesday and Wednesday. we'll get some wet stuff, and it'll make the grass come back growing strong, won't it? All the way through July 4th. Can you believe we're talking about that? Mid-90s all the way through there, anywhere from 94 to 96 expected. Rain chances, let's look at the 4th there. A chance of early morning thunderstorms, then cooling off for you to do your fireworks. Not bad at all. 45% chance earlier that morning. It should work out great. Have some fun that evening. As we look at the fishing forecast, here's what we've got. The perfect time today is around 11:30 and should be good to about 1:30, a noontime fishing trip. Next time your best is after 11 o'clock late at night, but you'll get a chance right at dark, a minor chance there. So be there at dark and try it. East wind 5 to 10, but look at that as we see the gusts are going to be 5 to 10. Now that's a lot. Let's look at what is stirring here, then we're going to go to the map. All eyes are looking toward the Gulf. We've got areas there in Louisiana that's getting some rains as we pull this up here of what the National Hurricane Center is showing. Off to the coast here, 30% chance in the Atlantic of this coming ashore there at Florida, Georgia, somewhere along in there. We have another storm that is developing here. It's a 50% chance off the coast of Mexico headed toward the Gulf, a 50% chance. Alberto, already a tropical storm, moving at 52 miles an hour this morning, 63-mile-an-hour gust with winds of moving west-north at 13 miles an hour. Now let's go here and pull up our map and take a look at these outlines of what we're expecting to become of this storm as we pull up. Let's go down. Here it is. We back out. We've got two of these storms. This is developing here, the spaghetti models, as it comes in, and it looks like it'll come into Florida. They're just north of Orlando, right around Daytona, and head toward Gainesville and through Valdosta and then back out. If that develops, and it is a 30% chance on that. Here's what we've got here this morning. This is Alberto, as you'll see, just moments away from making inland there. Moving along at 52 miles an hour, and it will go directly into Mexico. We have another one that we showed there on the map that is starting to develop here that will move into the Gulf. This could be quite the active year of hurricane season. We're already seeing more activity than we did last year altogether, it seems. At least early, anyway. We'll be watching all this and letting you know what becomes of it when it becomes a threat to you. Watch it, watch it, watch it. This is what we've had down here. Right along in here. All of this area here, been getting rain along those coasts. We'll watch all of that and keep you. I didn't show that, did I? There it is. As we show here. Again, right here, they're watching that small craft advisory, some showers associated with it. Nothing horrible as we get our day underway. As I said, right now we're sitting at 70, 69, almost 70 as we wait for that high to get a little on up there. It's going to be nice and 92 before it's all done. Debbie, how are you? Irene Addy joins us. As we get the morning show ready, don't forget, we're going to recap what was said yesterday in the press conference. Forcible drowning. Did you see the headline where we wrote about that? One of the saddest things I think I've ever seen or thought. I'm not going to lie, is before we had the press conference, I knew what had happened the night before. I had trouble sleeping. I won't lie to y'all about that. All I could see was that image in my head as I tried to sleep. It shook me to the core. I don't know if it did everyone else, but it rattled my cage bad. A 2-year-old life lost for no reason at the hands of allegedly the mother. Anyway, we'll talk more about that coming up at the top of that. Right here in our neighborhood. It's not somewhere way off. It happened in our back door. We also had a stabbing, Sebastopol. We'll tell you about that, too, coming up at 7 o'clock. Local news, we've got the judge in the house. He's prepared. Here comes the judge. Everybody knows that he is a judge. Nick Lisi will join us in a few moments. Jeff Tate is here also. We'll get some Senate. He'll tell him what to do there. He's going to help the judge out there. Some advice. I also hear, and we'll touch on this, I'm hearing they're putting metal detectors, City Meridian, to go in council meetings. Did y'all know that? Well, you can't be armed. Can't get, I was told that last night. Can't take anything in. I didn't know meetings had gotten that rough up there.
I didn't know anybody went.
Oh, you're right. Who goes to hear that? They are kind of teeny bit boring, aren't they? Also, did y'all hear about the new courthouse door? Man, $70-something thousand for a door in? Y'all see that? I mean, really, we just built a $50 million courthouse. $50 million plus add-ons. I don't know how many millions that was. No one seems to want to talk about it. And a door, $70,000. Another bid's $40-something thousand. And we can't even get the election commission. And Donna Jill, bless her heart, is still held up at the old courthouse. Oh, wait a minute. Nobody asked her what she needed. Did this really happen here? $50 million and she can't leave the old courthouse? Oh, my heavens. You know, that stuff has to be guarded. I'm just saying. Donna Jill's my buddy. Whew. We got a lot to talk about. It's coming up at the top of the hour. Join us, won't you? The Scotty Ray Report. We'll see you soon as we get this morning underway.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.